Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we're sifting through quite a bit of information on BigBear.ai holdings. It's definitely one of the more volatile names out there in the government AI space. Our mission today is pretty clear. Look at the financials, the good and the bad, sector strengths, the technical signals. Basically, try to answer that key question. Correct. Is BigBear.ai a good time to buy right now?
Yeah, and this is really a classic case study in conflicting signals. The sources we have really lay it all out. On one hand, you've got these recent, pretty undeniable financial stumbles and, frankly, a lot of skepticism about whether they can actually turn those huge contracts into real money anytime soon.
Right.
But then, flip side, they dominate this niche in specialized defense AI. Their clients, well, switching away is incredibly difficult for them. And the charts, the technicals, are suggesting some serious institutional buying.
Accumulation, yeah.
Exactly. So we're here to help you kind of synthesize this really complex picture, understand why people are so divided on BBAI.
Absolutely. We've got a lot to cover. And hey, before we really jump in, just a quick reminder, if you find this analysis useful, please do subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. Seriously, if there's a specific company we want us to examine, drop it in the comments below. We read them all, and your feedback really helps us decide what to tackle next. Okay, so let's unpack the recent history first, because that's really the source, isn't it? The root of all the negativity around the stock lately.
It really is. The immediate past gives you all the reasons for a bearish view right now.
Precisely. You have to start back in August with that Q2 2025 earnings report. It was just, well, a massive disappointment. Plain and simple. They reported Q2 revenue of, what, $32.5 million? That was an 18% drop year over year. That single miss just blew up their guidance for the full year.
Oh, yeah. And that cut was significant. They went from expecting, somewhere between $160 and $180 million, all the way down to a much more cautious $125 to $140 million range. That kind of sudden, huge revision, it always sets off alarm bells in the market.
And the reason they gave is so critical for understanding the longer-term risk here. Management blamed it almost entirely on delays. Delays in U.S. government contracts and weaker volumes in some existing Army programs.
And that is the fundamental headwind investors need to get their heads around, this reliance on slow-moving federal bureaucracy. These are big-ticket contracts, absolutely. But the approval cycles, they're just notoriously long. They often get stuck because of, things like continuing resolutions, drawn-out budget fights in Congress, all before the actual funding gets released.
Yeah, the wheels turn slowly. And then, to make things feel even worse, right after that earnings miss, you had an insider move to just amplify the negative feeling. August 27th, the CFO sells nearly 12,000 shares. Now, look, maybe it was planned, personal finances, whatever, but the timing. Right after a deep guidance cut, it just signaled, or seemed to signal, a lack of near-term confidence from the top.
It definitely creates that narrative, right? If management isn't feeling good about the next 6 months, why should I? That said, BigBear.ai immediately tried to push back on that narrative. They highlighted their contract backlog, said it was a massive $380 million as of June 30th.
Okay, but hang on a second. That backlog number, isn't it a bit misleading? Or doesn't it need a huge asterisk? They keep hyping $380 million, but like 96% of that isn't actually funded yet, right? Because of those same slow processes we just talked about.
That's a very fair point, a really fair challenge. The $380 million number, it does prove demand. It shows clients trust their tech, they want the service. But analysts, they're rightly skeptical because, only about 4% of that backlog is currently funded. That conversion risk. That's why BBAI is seen as such a high-stakes play. The potential money is there, sure.
Yeah.
But actually getting it, that depends entirely on the pace of federal spending, security vetting, all that stuff for agencies like DoD and DHS.
So a major bottleneck in D.C. But what about diversification? Are they trying to move beyond just government work? We did see one positive sign on the commercial side, didn't we?
Absolutely. That announcement in October was really important. The successful commercial rollout of their passenger processing tech, enhanced passenger processing, I think it's called, at Nashville International Airport. This is actually a big deal because it proves their specialized AI can work, can get traction outside that core military and government world. It suggests, a future for BBAI that isn't entirely tied to the ups and downs of federal budgets.
That commercial win is definitely needed because when you pivot back and look at the core financials, well, the picture is still pretty challenged, fundamentally speaking.
It really is. I mean, yes, the top line is growing. Fiscal year 2024 revenue hit $158.24 million, which was up, almost 2%. A modest increase, but profit margins, they're under severe pressure.
Yeah.
And the losses, they're actually widening.
How challenged are we talking? Like in actual number?
Oh, for 2024, BigBear.ai reported a net income loss of, get this, minus $295.55 million. Wow.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, you have to note that a big chunk of that loss was tied to restructuring costs, some one-time charges from their previous spec deal. But still, it's a lot of red ink. And critically, while they are making some progress narrowing their operational cash burn quarter by quarter, they haven't hit positive free cash flow yet. That liquidity situation, that cash burn, it remains a core financial risk you have to factor in, especially for short-term expectations.
Okay, so you've got this specialized, probably market-leading tech, huge potential contracts, but also real financial growing pains and, as you said, massive execution risk on converting that backlog. It's kind of a messy picture, which naturally leads to analysts being all over the place, right? Like, we saw Weiss ratings stick with a pretty negative sell-D rating in late September. They're clearly focused on those recent financial misses.
And all this uncertainty, this inherent risk, it means volatility isn't just like a feature of this stock. It's pretty much the defining characteristic. BBAI has incredibly high implied volatility.
And it's beta.
3.19. Okay, for listeners maybe newer to this stuff, what does a beta of 3.19 actually mean when you're thinking about putting it in your portfolio?
It's a big flashing warning sign, basically. Beta measures how much a stock moves compared to the overall market. A beta of 1.0 means it moves in line with the market, a beta of 3.19. That means this stock is, theoretically, more than 3 times as volatile as the general market, like the S&P 500. So if the S&P goes up 1%, yeah, BBAI could easily jump 3% or more. But the same holds true on the downside. It's absolutely a high-risk, high-reward kind of situation.
So, okay,
Yeah.
if the fundamentals look so tricky, the P&L is messy, and the risk is that high, why does it seem like big investors, institutional money, might be buying the stock? Let's pivot to the bullish case now. What's the competitive advantage? The moat, as they say. What keeps analysts optimistic despite the profit challenges?
Right, the moat. It boils down to specialization and how deeply embedded they are. BigBear.ai really leads in this specialized AI and machine learning niche, particularly for predictive analytics and their clients. These aren't your average businesses. We're talking highly secure, mission-critical government agencies, U.S. Department of Defense, national security outfits, massive logistics groups.
I'd imagine once you're running the core platforms for, say, the Pentagon,
Yeah.
switching suppliers isn't exactly easy. The cost must be astronomical.
Exactly right. You don't just rip out the predictive AI that's running your national security logistics because some competitor comes along offering something slightly cheaper. That deep integration, that embedding, it gives them a kind of structural durability. Even if the timing of the contract funding is messy, it basically guarantees a long-term revenue stream once that backlog starts converting properly.
And you can see that durability reflected in the analyst targets, can't you? Even with that Q2 turbulence, the average rating from sell-side analysts is still moderate buy. And the overall consensus across the big research platforms seems to range from buy to strong buy.
Yeah, that's right. The average price target sits around $6 right now, but conviction seems pretty high in some corners. You see some outliers pushing targets up to $10. And it's worth noting, as of October 6th, the stock actually closed at $7.27. It was trading between $6.37. So the fact it's currently trading above that average analyst target, it suggests the market might be pricing in some significant future growth or acceleration that maybe the analysts haven't fully baked into their models just yet.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me, the technical side, the momentum. If the fundamentals are complicated, the financial statements show losses. What are the charts telling us? Who's buying this and why?
Well, the charts are telling a fundamentally different story, a much more bullish story, actually, than the profit and loss statement, the P&L. Technically speaking, the shares have been consistently trading above both their 50-day and their 200-day moving averages. That's been true since late Q3. That confirms a sustained positive trend. It strongly suggests institutional buying accumulation is powerful enough to overcome that recent negative news flow.
So the big players are basically seeing any dip as a chance to buy more.
That certainly seems to be the pattern, and momentum indicators are backing this up. The RSI, the Relative Strength Index, that's a key momentum gauge. It's currently sitting in that bullish 50 to 65 range. That signals strong buying pressure, but importantly, it's not yet in overheated or overbought territory. Plus, the MACD moving average, convergence, divergence, that's positive and it's rising, that indicates the upward momentum is actually accelerating. So, technically, we've got near-term support established around $6.75 to $7. And resistance levels look pretty clear up between $8 and $10, the technical picture. It's unequivocally pointing higher right now.
Okay, so this sets the stage perfectly for what's coming next. The future events that could really, break this stock out either up or down, or maybe confirm the bearish view. First up, the big one everyone's watching, the next financial release.
Absolutely. You need to circle that date for the Q3 2025 earnings release. It's scheduled for either October 28th or possibly November 4th, depending on which source you check. This report is going to be under a microscope. Management absolutely needs to show clear signs of recovery. They need to stabilize the P&L, and most importantly, provide concrete, much firmer guidance on converting that huge backlog. Anything less, well, it'll likely trigger another sell-off.
And beyond just earnings, there are some technical and ownership-related things coming up that could move the needle in Q4, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of the immediate headlines.
Yeah, a couple of dates to watch. November 15th, that's the major ETF quarterly rebalancing. Exchange-traded funds, And then December 2nd is the institutional holdings disclosure deadline. If BigBear.ai's profile, its strong AI credentials, leads to it being included more heavily in passive index funds during these periods, well, that could trigger significant buying volume from major funds purely based on technical requirements.
And finally, we get to the really high-impact stuff, the speculation, the rumors swirling around. What's the chatter in the market saying?
Well, as you'd expect with a specialized tech company deep in government contracts, the market chatter is pretty rampant. There are ongoing rumors suggesting BBAI could be an acquisition target, maybe a larger defense contractor wants their portfolio, or perhaps a big legacy tech firm wants to instantly buy those DoD-DHS relationships and AI capabilities. An acquisition, of course, that's always the potential game changer, the biggest speculative upside.
And there's also that critical speculation about the federal funding pipeline maybe speeding up.
Yes, exactly. The rumor mill suggests that some key U.S. government funding bills might actually pass in Q4. And if they do, they could rapidly unlock a big chunk of that currently unfunded $380 million backlog. If that happens, those contracts suddenly become available for revenue conversion much, much sooner than the market currently expects. That sudden certainty. It would instantly validate the most bullish long-term arguments.
That would definitely be a game changer. Okay, so let's try and synthesize all this. We've got the financial pain points, the institutional buying, the government delays, the speculative potential. What's the bottom line for a listener thinking about an investment right now?
Look, you've got these two really powerful forces just clashing head-on. BigBear.ai clearly faces high execution risk. It's tied to that unpredictable pace of federal contract money flowing. And the P&L is messy, showing widening losses. But offsetting that, you have these incredibly strong structural tailwinds. Their AI is specialized, deeply embedded in defense. And you have these very strong technical buying patterns suggesting deep institutional belief in the long-term story.
And the overall consensus, it seems, despite all the near-term noise and pain, still leans bullish for the long haul. One source we looked at gave it an 8 out of 10 bullish rating. So it looks attractive, both potentially short-term, heading into that crucial Q3 report, and longer-term, just based on the undeniable structural growth in government AI and specialized services.
It really is the definition of a high-risk, high-reward stock at this moment. But hey, before we wrap up, here's maybe one last thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Think beyond the core defense work, beyond even that Nashville airport success. How quickly can BigBear.ai really leverage its predictive analytics platform to become a major player in other high-stakes commercial areas, like global logistics, supply chain management, that expansion into commercial verticals? That might just be the single biggest key to de-risking the whole business from, the unpredictable whims of the federal budget cycle. Something to consider.